But if you're talking about just dating, I don't think that you should be dependent on somebody to fulfill your needs.
Knowing things are normal that shouldn't be, I feel like it's one of those things. It's so normal because it's such a toxic thing that people constantly do.
We need to identify the voids in our life before we go out and try to look and fill those voids with other people. If we're not aware of that, we're very susceptible to falling into these type of relationships which are not conducive for growth.
But in that period of me being by myself, I was able to see the depth of my dependency.
Even if you get a good relationship, you know what a bad one looks like. You know, you have that contrast. So now you have the awareness, and now you can see how far God has brought you.
Is it ever okay to be dependent on your partner?
No.
Absolutely not.
No. Explain dependent, because a woman goes into childbirth for 9 months. So in that case, as the man of the house, you're supposed to be the rock, especially when she's about to give birth to a human. I would say in those type of instances, yes. Also in marriage, you guys are both interdependent. I don't want to say dependent, but interdependent on each other. But if you're talking about just dating, I don't think that you should be dependent on somebody to fulfill your needs, because you should be coming to that person already fulfilled in who you are. And me, I'm fulfilled in the one I serve, God above. So when I come into a relationship, I'm not just leeching off of them for whatever it may be. Some people it's money, some people it's emotional validation, some people it's whatever it may be. We don't want to go into relationships and be leeches, but we want to be people that add on to the other person. Be blessed, you can be a blessing. You know what I'm saying? So if you're going and you're like, you know what? I'm going to go and I'm going to get into this relationship because this person, they got money. I don't have money. I'm going to go be a leech. No, that's not okay. Get your money up, not your funny up. Word.
Wait, man, be a blessing so you can be blessed.
No. Be blessed so you can be a blessing to others.
I think my brain is. Okay. Yeah, continue.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Be blessed so you can be a blessing. If you're going into a place because you think, oh, okay, this dude, this girl, they got what I need. I'm going to go and just attach to them and they'll make me complete. You already lost. You already lost. If you're thinking like, okay, this person will make me complete. Let me go. You lost. Sorry. You're done. But when you see each other and that this person's character complements mine and they have their own thing going, I got my own thing going. When we come together, we can have this great thing going. But on ourselves, we're still good. That's like, that's a great start to a relationship.
I agree. I really do. No, I do agree. I do. I don't think it's even fair to like right off the bat be dependent on someone. I don't even think that's normal. Like,
it is though.
No, I mean normal in the sense that people do it a lot, but like if it's something that's knowing things are normal that shouldn't be, I feel like it's one of those things. It's so normal because it's such a toxic thing that people constantly do, but it shouldn't be normal. The thing is, if you're going to be dependent on the person that you're trying to be with and you're just a dependent person altogether, like you're someone who needs to depend on other people, who were you depending on before them? Then, there had to have been someone else. So
we live in the West. There's a lot of people that's dependent on the parents, or let's say there's a lack of the parent in the household. You see a lot of people getting into relationships because of a lack of a father figure. So they look for it outside in relationships.
Daddy issues.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are now trying to find their father in a man who is taking advantage, going back to what we talked about earlier, who's taking advantage of that mental issue, and now they're using that to manipulate them. That's where becoming dependent is the problem, is that especially in the world, people will use your weakness and try to manipulate you based on that. And if we're not already whole and complete, it's going to be very hard when you go out in the field and you're looking for somebody to partner with, because if that person is somebody who is not empathetic, somebody who doesn't care about you but only cares from what they can get from you, it's going to be a lot of toxicity. It's going to be a lot of using. It's going to be a lot of just something you don't want to be a part of. We have to understand that if we need to identify the voids in our life before we go out and try to look and fill those voids with other people. If we're not aware of that, we're very susceptible to falling into these type of relationships which are not conducive for growth.
Being on your own, or like knowing your worth. I'm not saying that you should do this, but not depending on someone, in a way, some people even see that as attractive. Some people even like that you're on your own, and that you don't need anyone. You don't need to depend on people as much.
Strong, independent.
But don't be that just because like it's good looking. Do it for
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
So you could live easier, I guess. What do you think?
I was gonna add to that. I was gonna say, like, we serve a jealous God. If God is seeing that yours, idolatry is what I like to call it. Idolatry. You just are so dependent on this person or said people, and you're constantly running to them whenever you need validation, whenever you need attention, whenever you need love, whatever it may be that you need, you run to them instead of the creator. I think we have to come in terms that God don't play that, and he will remove that person. Something that I've been through personally is I very much, yes, somebody, I made something an idol that I shouldn't have. And when I tell y'all God don't play that, God don't play that. And it's crazy because for me it was manifested into the physical where this person was completely gone from my life. And it was so weird for me because it was like, what? But in that period of me being by myself, I was able to see the depth of my dependency. I feel like I felt as though it was just surface level. I was like, no, it's God, it's not dependency. I just, sometimes I just feel like this, I just feel like that. But having like that person gone, I didn't know where to go, what to do. And the only reason I got back up was because I was at my lowest, and I had to, when you're all the way down, the only way to look is up. I had to look up, literally. I looked up, and I would go to my favorite spots. I would go to my favorite pho place, and I looked up and I saw like chandeliers, and I don't know. For me, it was just like, it just showed that everything that I thought was not as minimum as I thought, and it was way deeper. So it really, but God used it. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. So God really used that, I feel like, to really bring me to where I am now. And now, honestly, it's something I can say I've really learned so much from, and half, honestly, of who I am is because of that situation, and because it caused me to get to the point where I had to tell God, I can't do this without you. I need you, and there's no way that I'm getting out of this, honestly.
You sound like you have something to say.
No, I just want to say that's very good, and I like the fact that you were able to open up about that, because that's something that if you haven't been through it, it's hard to really take the lesson and the message from what you just said. When you have nowhere to go but up, when you're down at the very bottom, you at the bikini bottom, bro. It's Patrick Star down there, which ain't no way you can look up but up, and you look up, who's there looking right back at you? God. For some people, honestly, they need to just go through this kind of stuff, to be quite honest, so they can see the flip side of it, and how even if you get a good relationship, you know what a bad one looks like. You have that contrast. So now you have the awareness, and now you can see how far God has brought you. For a lot of us, we just need that perspective. But in order to get that perspective, we have to go through the trial first. So honestly, some of y'all watching, y'all gonna go through those hard relationships, go through that pain, that struggle. But you need that in order to grow into who you're supposed to be, into the person that you're supposed to be with. So y'all keep that in mind, man.
It takes pressure to form a diamond. That's
Amen.
what I always say.
Amen.
Lots and lots of pressure, and understanding that we serve a God who, he'll give you these lessons, but he wants them. You need to know them. It's not just a one-time thing where you see it, you're like, oh yeah, this is a lesson. Like, he's gonna make you go through it in a way where it's embedded in your soul. It's a principle, it's a standard, something that you cannot outlook or look away from, because it's just the way in which he taught you it was just so deep and honestly so meaningful. One of those things you'll look at in life and you'll never forget, honestly. And that's honestly how I feel. I feel like this is something that till the day I leave this earth, I will never forget. I will remember the season that God has brought me through and everything about it. And what kind of lesson is better than one that you'll remember forever?
Facts.
That's how I feel.
Facts. Well, Mr. Philemon, I feel like we haven't been asking you questions, but
me?
Yeah.
I mean, I've been listening.
But we'll let you go ahead. And is there any other things you wanted to talk about?
That was all I wanted to ask you guys. I mean, if there's something you want to bring out of me, I mean, I was just listening. You guys were spitting facts, so I didn't want to interrupt.
Glad just to be here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm glad you guys are here.
Thank you guys.
Doing? I see you on the couch with your hot chocolate and your chips and your cereal, warm cereal.
No, we're not bringing cereal back up
no,
again.
no,
Play
no,
the clip. Play the clip.
So first you take your bowl. Take your milk. Pour that into the bowl. Milk first, but you don't stop there. Put it into your microwave. Take your protein powder, you put it on the table. You go back to your kitchen pantry, you get almonds, you get you some cut up dates, and you get you some cinnamon. I'm not lying. Does it look like I'm so serious?
Yeah, I think that's it. Thank you guys for coming on the show. Thank you for coming again. Oh yeah, I always do this as a tradition. What is one last piece of advice that you'd like to give to people? Doesn't have to be about relationships, doesn't have to be about anything. Right now is your time to say a piece of advice. What would it be?
Everything is working for your good. That's what God promises you. Things are gonna look so weird, but remember to not lean onto your own understanding. His ways are not your ways, and your ways are not his. It looks hard, and it probably is, and you probably think that no one understands you, but God does.
Call your mom. Yeah, you. Little Timmy on the couch. Yeah, you. Call your mom, bro. Why don't you call her right now after this show? Or I'm going to press you. I'm going to find you. I'm going to press you. I'm going to tell you, call your mom. Because not every day is guaranteed. Your mom, she had you in her stomach for 9 months. And you ain't even call her? Bro, call your mom, bro. Word to everything I love. Call your mom, bro.
Call your dad too. Let him know.
Call your whole family, gang. I'm watching you. Hey, listen. Sometimes it takes you losing a loved one to realize the value. So call your mom. Give her flowers. Go visit your mom. Tell her you love her. I'm sure she'll appreciate it.
If you guys like this, comment down below, subscribe. Anything you'd like to say about relationships, if you agreed with what they said, if you disagreed with what they said, comment down below, let us know. Instagram at The Brief Dive, Snapchat The Brief Dive Plus, all caps, or email me at thebriefdive@gmail.com to let me know things one-on-one. Other than that, I think we're signing out. Yeah, peace out.
Peace.